a movie that you can only get on Blu-ray right now. I'm sure it'll stream somewhere soon. I saw the director and animator Eric Power musing on Instagram whether or not Mubi might pick it up. This movie's called When You Get to the Forest. And this is the third of 4 cutout animation movies that Power has made, feature animation movies that Power has made. He has one coming up, which is also a memoir. Should be very cool. This one is sort of a soft cinema drama, kind of in the mold of My Old Ass or Petite Maman or even The Quiet Girl. And that movie follows his first 2 movies, one of which was called Path of Blood, which is a really loving homage to samurai films. I mean, it has an all-Japanese voice cast, and it's a very good new movie that will remind you of Lone Wolf and Cub or Lady Snowblood. It's violent, and the kills are very similar to the ones in those Japanese exploitation Chanbara movies. And something like the scenery is great. It's cutout animation, like I said, like South Park. I mean, South Park is the most prominent version of cutout animation that I can think of, but cutout animation actually was the medium for the very first animated feature film, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, which came out in the 1920s. And he followed up that Path of Blood, that samurai movie, with a movie called Attack of the Demons, which is just a straight up homage to monster horror films, The Thing and The Blob. And if you saw, I mean, most people didn't based on its box office, but it's sort of like, R-rated as those movies are. But the new Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, is also a send up of those kinds of movies. And it's gross and violent, and the dialogue's terrible, but deliberately. Anyway, that is all to say, this movie, his third movie, which just released on Blu-ray just the other day, When You Get to the Forest, is an amazing movie about a woman who's grieving her recently deceased mother, or so I think. I mean, it's never explicitly stated, but that is the vibe you get. And she wanders into the forest to do a hiking trail that she did with her mom and complete it in a way that she was too much of a baby to complete when she was a kid. And she goes off the trail because she doesn't want to litter, and some of her litter gets away from her. And then she falls and hits her head and then winds up completely lost. And she spends a year lost in the forest, with her only company being this talking cat. And she uses the cat as a way, her communication with the cat as a way to grieve. And the voice acting, like in his other movies, is pretty amateurish, but the dialogue here is good. And there's not a ton of dialogue. It's much more of a mood piece. And I really loved it. I found it really touching. So this one you can get on Vinegar Syndrome, and I recommend it. I think people should patronize independent animators like this. And if you can, you should. It's a very good movie. And you'll be one of a very few people to own this Blu-ray. And maybe it'll eventually come out on streaming. His other 2 movies that have already been released, Path of Blood and Attack of the Demons, are both available on Amazon Prime and Tubi and a lot of other streaming places. But you can get those on Blu-ray as well, and I recommend that. This you can only get on Blu-ray.